welcome to my channel. This is Prep and Passion. My name is Pam. I am a special education teacher. I've been teaching almost 9 years now. And today we're going to talk about prompting. And I think it's something we do without thinking about it. And it's something that we should think about more, especially when training staff and parents in prompting, because it comes so naturally to prompt children that sometimes we forget the whole point of prompting is so that the student can eventually do it independently. You're trying to roll back the prompting, not add more prompting, as anyone who's written an IEP will attest. So today we're going to talk about prompting. I have a quick little handout to go with this. It's on my Teacher Pay Teacher account. It's free for the next month, and then it's going to be $1. So it's a prompting worksheet. I put it in all my parent packets. I give it to every single one of my paraprofessionals, and I place it on the wall. It is a quick, easy chart that shows what the most invasive prompting is, what the least invasive prompting is, and all the steps in between, and it gives an example of each step along the way. Quick, easy to read, and everyone understands it so far. If anyone has a problem with it, please let me know in the comments below and I can adjust. So let's start talking about prompting. Before we get into least invasive and most invasive, let's talk about what prompting is. The definition of prompting is to remind someone to do something after you've told them to do it. So it's giving the direction and then following up with further instruction. So that's what prompting is. You don't even think you're doing it, but when you repeat yourself 50 times, you are prompting. And it's something we as teachers do every day, a million times without even thinking. It's something our paras are doing. And I find that if we don't really think about it, we are too quick. We're not giving that wait time. We're jumping on the kids a little much, especially come March when you're just done. It's a lot. So let's talk about most invasive prompting. Most invasive prompting is physical prompting. That's when you give the instruction and you follow it up with physical interaction with the student. So I say, write the letter H, and then I take the child's hand, hand over hand, we write the letter H. Or I say, line up, and then I take the child's shoulders and we move them to the line. That is physical prompting. Touching a student, moving them where they need to be, completing the task with the student is invasive. The next step up, a little less invasive, is partial physical prompting. That is when you touch the student, but you're not making them do the task. I say, write the letter H, and then I touch the child's elbow to get him to start writing. Like, you need to write now. Or I say, line up, and then I touch the child's back to let them know it's time to move. After partial physical prompting is verbal prompting. That is when you say, line up, and then you say, Jimmy, line up, Maggie, line up, calling out each kid individually. Or when you say, write the letter H, come on, Jimmy, you gotta write the letter H, don't forget to write the letter H. I find especially verbal prompting with myself, I have to say, stop, stop, give the kid a minute, and wait. I literally put on a timer for myself, especially when I'm moving from partial physical prompting to verbal prompting. And I will wait a full minute before I give another direction, because sometimes the student just needs to take that minute and process, what does she want me to do? How do I do that? Okay, let's do that. It's hard. There's a lot going on inside of our students, and sometimes we're so quick and we have so much to get done that we're just like, let's go. And so we need to take a moment and say, they can do it, give them a chance. After verbal prompting is modeling. This is something that happens in gen ed classrooms all the time. Without even thinking, they go, write the letter H, and then they write the letter H on the board. Or they say, line up, and then the teacher walks over to the lineup spot. This is something that comes after verbal prompting because you are not talking. And I feel like a lot of us are so used to being the only one chatting in the room, or the only one who has giving instruction, that we give too much instruction. Okay, after modeling comes gestural prompting. That's literally when you say, write the letter H, and you point at the worksheet. Where are they supposed to write it? Right there on the worksheet. Line up, and then you point to the lineup spot. Gestural prompting is pointing. So you say, write the letter H, point to the worksheet. You say, line up at the lineup spot, point to the lineup spot. Silence and wait. It's really, really hard to do. I know. Maybe it's just me. I'm chatty. Okay, after gestural prompting is visual prompting. You are no longer telling them where the lineup spot is. You are just holding up a sign that says line up, or a picture symbol that shows them lining up, or a picture of the kids lining up at a previous time. This also counts as anchor charts. You're like, hey, write the letter H. Don't point to the anchor chart. Say, use the anchor chart. Or handing the student an anchor chart. These are all visual promptings. It's a cue that doesn't have to come from the teacher. Visual cues are also the least invasive because they don't need to use it. Students don't need to look at it if they don't need it. It's the last step before they are like completely independent. So thank you for watching my video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe so more teachers can find me. How do you use prompting in your classroom? Did this spark any ideas? I know I am a constant over-verbal prompter. Just leave me a comment below. Let me know how you use prompting in your classroom. Check out the TPT store. I will link it in the box below. You can find me on social media. I'm getting my Instagram account working. And thank you for watching. Bye. See you next time.